Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast, and this is going to be another update on very large winter storm Abigail. It is already starting to bring in snow for portions of the Rockies and Montana, and by tomorrow it would be widely widespread across portions of the Midwest, from all the way from the upper peninsula of Michigan all the way up into the Rockies near Idaho, Montana. Expected to bring a maximum up to 1 to 2 feet of snow for these general areas. Going to bring some snow for big cities like Bismarck, Billings, Helena, Duluth, and general areas, as well as Aberdeen and other areas in the Midwest. So we do have windstorm warnings, watches, and advisories for much of the northern United States now. We actually now have a snow squall warning for Montana. We're really watching out our first big winter storm of the year, and our first named one. We'll be looking at various models on snowfall and snow precipitation rate, and then we'll be looking at the amount of sleet and freezing rain that can very well fall as well. So there is a chance for power outages, and also going to be looking at the very large cold front Arctic blast that's going to bring in negative digits and single digits for these areas at the same time as Winter Storm Abigail. So this will be like a wintry wonderland in October. So here's as a look now at the National Weather Service, and as you do see, we have the windstorm watches, advisories, and warnings, and we actually do have there that snow squall warning there for portions of Montana. That includes Great Falls, and that's because the conditions are quite basically limited, very well limited, because of the strong winds. We're seeing the rapid rate of the snowfall. We are expected to see another around 4 inches of snow for Great Falls region, but as you do see, almost the whole state of Montana is under something for winter. It's just that little county right there. There's one county, and then the whole state of Montana will be under something. But as well, all the way from Idaho to areas of far northwestern Wisconsin. But look at the widespread windstorm watches we do have now that are now issued for the Midwest here, as you do see Bismarck, Jamestown, Ashley, Bowman, just much of the general North Dakota and South Dakota regions there. And then we do have those windstorm watches up there for the north central Minnesota part, and that one county up there northwestern Wisconsin. As Abigail does get closer, expect watches to continue to expand eastward into Michigan and further into Wisconsin. Those windstorm warnings are in effect for areas of Montana and Wyoming, because those areas can expect over a foot of snowfall, maybe even 2 feet of snowfall. That's exactly what we'll be seeing, maybe the most amount of snow. And you do see tonight through Thursday, 6 to 8 inches, and it's only through Thursday, or only through that morning hour Thursday. We still have the whole other day of Thursday to come. We also have those windstorm warnings just north of that snow squall warning for those areas out there north of Great Falls, including Conrad, Cut Bank, and Chateau. That's including areas that could very well see 4 to another 9 inches of snowfall in those general areas there. But really tracking Abigail, as it's going to bring in winter conditions, not just for snow, freezing rain, and precipitation in general, but for temperatures as well. As you do see, here's an AN 12-kilometer model. As you do see, this next 13 hours here, we have that first little parts of Abigail coming in, but really starts to come in into the Dakotas by the around 20-hour mark. So this is going to be around Thursday afternoon, early afternoon for these areas, since it is central time and also in some parts mountain time for Montana. This is where we do have, though, that snow coming in for areas just north of here. Going to bring some snow there for areas near Rapid City. Now, as we get in the next 24 hours, this is when that snow starts to really become very widespread, now stretching into already Minnesota here. This is going to bring some quite the heavy snow for Bismarck, Pierre, Aberdeen. I mean, it's going to get quite the heavy snow, and it's going to even stretch into areas out there into Fargo and into the Grand Rapids area there. But as you do see, really heavy snow for these areas up in the Duluth area. Gonna start seeing some freezing rain and even sleet for near the Minneapolis area. So because there very well see some sleet issues out there, that's not just snow. And then it's going to kind of rapidly kind of move into advance into Canada, into the Ontario area. But it's still going to be seeing by Friday in 45 hours. It's going to be almost around a whole 24-hour time period of snow for some areas. So that's going to bring a good amount of snow. And these areas that are going to get affected by Windstorm Abigail are getting snow that just got snow last night. So that snow is not going to melt anytime soon because some of these highs are struggling to get past the 20s. So not only will we have snow from Abigail, it's gonna add on into an additional 5-6 inches because of the snowstorm we had just last night. So it's gonna be a lot of snow on the ground. And like I'm saying, this is just add all of this by like 5 or 6, and that's the snow you're gonna see on the ground. Or especially for the Midwest, add these totals by like maybe 5 or 7, and that's how much snow you have on the ground by Friday, and add this by like 2 to 3 inches, and then that's what you're gonna be seeing in the next by Friday. So these are just from Abigail, but a foot of snow expected now for the far northeastern Wisconsin area, just north of Green Bay there. I do see the upper northwestern kind of panhandle little region or mitten area for Michigan. We're going to be seeing up to 7 to 11 inches of snowfall, up to 6 to 9 inches of snow for the Duluth region, additional maybe 1 to 3 inches for Minneapolis. So Minneapolis could get a little bit more action until the week ends. And now you do see a lot of snow is going to be kind of for that north central South Dakota area. So Pierre's going to get just around the 8 to 11 inches of snow. Up there just northwest of Pierre can be seen just around a foot of snowfall there. Quite impressive. But let's check out the NAN 3 kilometer model. As you do see, this is the next kind of 7 hours. We're having a little wave of snow there. It's not too shabby or not too bad. And then here comes Abigail here in the next 24 hours. Like we did say, that's going to kind of be where it's really widespread. They're bringing really heavy snow for that North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota border, that little tri-border area. And that's going to continue to bring some freezing rain and sleet possibly near that Minneapolis area. But the NAN 3 kilometer showing a lot less snow than the NAN 12 kilometer here. This is total snowfall. As you do see, some areas that show a foot of snow on the NAN 12 only show around 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. But as you do see, it's showing around a trace to an inch left for Minneapolis with maybe a little bit more action there. But seeing that the most amount of snow in Minnesota will stay up into the north central part and into Duluth, with maybe around 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. But see that the kind of north central South Dakota is going to be maintained the most amount of snow from this around 7 to around 10, maybe even maximum 12 inches of snowfall in those general areas, and as well going to be very active with Abigail up there in the Aberdeen part of South Dakota in that northeastern region. So here, look at the European, which is obviously very typically the most accurate when it comes to snowstorms. I mean, it really is. It really does seem to be the most accurate for snow compared to GFS or anything like that. But let's check out what they have for Abigail. As you do see, they show that first little wave that we have on radar now. That's going to affect portions of Minnesota and South Dakota. But here comes the main portion of Abigail. Here it is coming in around the next 24 hours. It's going to just really blast these areas of North Dakota and South Dakota border, especially out there, that far north central part of the state. But obviously, like I did say, could see some ice and sleet moving to that Minneapolis area just to the north. But I mean, look at the European showing a lot of snow for a more large variety of areas compared to GFS and the NAM models, showing extremely heavy snow for the northern parts of North Dakota, northern parts of Wisconsin, northern parts of Minnesota, and then obviously the northern parts of South Dakota. And obviously, you're going to continue to see that snow out there, staying for the western plains out there in Montana. And then it kind of diminishes by that Friday time period. Check out snowfall totals, as you do see, a bit higher compared to GFS. I mean, they're showing a lot higher compared to the GFS. They're showing around 3 to even possibly 9 to 7 inches of snowfall for Minneapolis left to come, which obviously is really high compared to what other models have showed. As you see, they're showing around anywhere from 4 to 8 to 9 inches of snowfall for the northwestern parts of Michigan and Wisconsin. Obviously, they are seeing the most amount of snowfall out of the Dakotas to kind of maintain in northern South Dakota, which is kind of what all the other models have been showing. So that's kind of a little pattern we're seeing. Kind of the most amount of snow will maintain in in northern South Dakota out of the Midwestern states, and that's predicting up to around 20 inches of snow. Like I did say, where we do have those windstorm warnings, that's where we're going to be seeing 1 to 2 feet of snow left to come. And this is actually where we have one of our windstorm warnings, and that is it predicting over 4 feet of snowfall. So, I mean, it seems like the European model is going all out here, but let's check out the freezing rain. I do see we have a little bit of freezing rain here, and there's a general region coming in the next 24 hours. Let's see actually how much, around 0.2 of an inch there, freezing rain. And then it starts to really intensify it to 0.35 of an inch out there, freezing rain there and ice. That's going to be just moving that north central part of South Dakota. We're going to be seeing the most amount of snow. And as you see, it's going to continue to intensify to even half an inch up there, half an inch of ice and freezing rain. That's a lot of power. Half an inch of ice doesn't sound like that much, and it really isn't. But for snowstorms, for the take power lines, I mean, half an inch out of the kind of square feet of a power line, that's like hundreds of pounds of ice, and that's going to carry on. But like I did say, could get some slight sleet near that, not exactly Minneapolis, but in that general the metro area. But let's check out the sleet. Let's check out sleet totals here. What we just checked was freezing rain, but this is sleet. I do see 0.2 of an inch there for sleet, which is kind of more slushy, and it's going to continue to intensify there up to the point where it's kind of near Pierre, which is what, see, that's exactly where we're going to be getting the hardest hit. This general region, see that it's going to get the hardest hit of the snow. Windstorm Abigail is going to be getting up to around 10 to 20 inches of snow, and the most intense freezing rain and sleet based on the European what we have now. Like I said, this is really all possible because this major cold front. This is just going to be mental. This is 6 to 10 day outlook for temperatures, and it's crazy, these temperatures. I mean, we're seeing an 80 to 70% chance for below average temperatures. That obviously get to a 90 to 100% chance, but these averages alone are pretty cold. And I mean, the fact that's going to be well below average says something. But here's a look now at the temperature outlook on the European. As you do see, as we get into that time period of snowfall, here are getting the evening hour temperatures. I mean, look, already seeing 20s and teens at the evening hours, and then the overnight lows are even colder. Look at this, negative 14 degrees for the areas right here in far northern Montana, and negative 13 degrees out there near Yellowstone. These are the overnight lows, and it's going to continue to kind of stretch. This is now Saturday, seeing 9 degrees, 12 degrees, 8 degrees for these areas, and that's not even the overnight lows. These are getting the overnight lows now. I mean, look at that, negative 14 degrees. It's just crazy. And look at this, negative 28 degrees, basically negative 29 degrees right here. That is absolutely bone-chilling temperatures right there, and that's going to continue to stick around. And this could very well support another snowstorm, maybe even more significant, because it'll have those cold temperatures there at the first place and not last minute. I mean, look at that. Gonna even start to get those negative digits out there into South Dakota. Look at these single digits into Minnesota, and then it'll slightly warm up into now kind of 30s and teens once again. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.